This video has the best console Fortnite settings. I've been playing a bunch of console Fortnite lately and even just got to Unreal while only playing on my PS5. And after playing on it for so many hours, I can definitely say it's pretty different compared to controller on PC because the aim assist is way stronger and there's a bit more delay. But with my new settings, consoles actually felt easy and even pretty fun. All I ask is if the settings end up helping you, make sure to subscribe. So because I am playing on a PS5, I do have 120 FPS mode available to me. On all consoles, I always turn the brightness all the way to 150% because consoles are so dark. And typically, I just leave my colorblind settings at default. But if you want it to be even brighter, you can go all the way over to Triton Ope and it makes the game really bright. Actually, for this video, I'll stay on Triton Ope. Then there's really no other graphics settings, so we go over to audio, and the only thing that matters in the audio tab is that you have visualize sound effects turned on. Then over one more to the game tab. A lot of the settings in this tab are just on default, but I did specifically turn auto open doors on. And honestly, that's mainly just because if you do a triple edit and accidentally make a door instead of a triangle down, then it'll just automatically put you through and it doesn't like stop you. Hold to swap pickup is on. In preferred item slots, this is actually one of the more important settings. You always want to have your shotgun in the first slot, then I like to follow it up with an SMG in my second slot. Then I like to have 2 heals and I like to have an AR in my last slot, where sometimes it's actually a sniper. Whatever loadout I'm feeling for that game. Then down to the building tab. Over here, disable pre-edits. I think all controller players should disable pre-edits. And auto confirm edits set to bold. All this does is when I click my edit button, all I do is click my select bind, which is my right trigger, and then I let go and it confirms the build. That's what edit on release is, but reset on release is basically the same thing, but for resetting. So I just click my edit bind and then I just click in R3 and it resets. This might not be like the most optimal, but honestly, I think it just makes editing like way easier in general. And if you're curious why I'm not actually clicking circle to edit, it's because I'm using a pro controller that has 4 paddles on the back, which I'm excited to announce that I actually just partnered with the company that makes these, Scuff Gaming. This is the Scuff Reflex PS5 that has like different sized thumbsticks, it has instant press triggers, grips on the back, and of course those 4 paddles. If you've seen my videos before, you've seen me play with their PC Scuff controller called the Scuff Envision Pro. They make pro gaming controllers for every single console. You've probably heard of them, but now I actually have my own code with them. So if you use code Carter2K at checkout while getting a Scuff controller, you actually get a discount. And I'll also leave the link to them in the top of my description. And then below the building settings is just a bunch of like extra stuff, your replays and whatnot. Over to the game UI tab, this all I really recommend is turning damage scale numbers all the way up. And the rest of these you just want to leave on default. The touch and motion tab, this is all just about gyro aiming, and gyro aiming is not good if you're on controller. It's really more meant for like mobile and Switch. It definitely makes you worse on console. And then we get all the way over to the controller tab, which has the main sensitivities. Over here, I like to set my slide hold time to about 0.07 seconds. Edit hold time shouldn't matter for you because you should have a dedicated edit button. Reset camera access and reset camera time don't matter to you because we're not using gyro aiming. In vibrations, unfortunately, we're gonna turn off to be able to get better aim. Down a little bit more is quick weapon, and I don't recommend anyone use this. Currently, I just think it makes switching weapons a lot slower, and that's what we don't want. Down a little bit below that is where we'll turn on use advanced options. Just click confirm, and that'll black out these 2 top settings. And that's completely fine because we're worried about the build and edit multipliers, which are both set to 2.0. Then that'll bring us to the look sense, which is just 43% on both horizontal and vertical look speeds with literally no boost, no extra fancy stuff. We're going straight up 43, and then to ADS, it's 7% on horizontal, 8% on vertical, and no boost. Once again, no fancy stuff. We're just going straight settings here. It's what most of the pros do, and it's best to just keep it simple. That takes us to look damaging time, 0 seconds, look input curve of linear, and then dead zones on my Scuff controller, I'm using 8% on both left and right stick. Now for my binds, everyone always wants to see the binds, and what I use is an L3 switch mode. Then honestly, my back paddles do most to like the heavy lifting. So with my far left paddle, this is what I'm clicking to jump. The paddle right next to that is what I click to sprint. Then over to the right, I click this paddle to pull out my pickaxe, and this far right paddle is what I click to edit. Now I'm about to show you what you can do with settings like these. Just sit back and watch this 20 bomb with controller ASMR.